The Committee to Protect Journalists reports that this past week, authorities in Yemen ordered Al-Jazeera's offices shut and its journalists stripped of accreditation, escalating a week-long series of reprisals against the station that has included beatings, expulsions, raids, and death threats. The country in the Arabian Peninsula has seen weeks of unrelenting protests demanding government reform and the ouster of President Ali Abdullah Saleh. The government, a United States ally for which the Obama administration has pledged over $250 million in military aid this year, has responded to the popular uprising with repressive force. At least 95 people have been killed in clashes with those loyal to Saleh's government. Saeed Thabit, Al Jazeera's Yemen bureau chief, said a Ministry of Information official informed him of the closure by phone but provided no specific reason. al-Gindi, Yemen's deputy minister of information, said in an Al Jazeera interview that the station had turned into, quote, a channel that incites revolutions. The station has been providing extensive coverage of the popular uprising that is threatening Saleh's 33-year reign. The closing of the station's offices comes 2 days after about 20 plainclothes gunmen raided Al Jazeera's bureau in Sana'a. Al Jazeera journalists said the gunmen, whose faces were obscured by headscarves, confiscated equipment and obstructed operations while uniformed police stood by and took no action. Authorities also expelled 2 Al Jazeera correspondents. Days afterward, government supporters attacked Al Jazeera cameraman Mujib al-Suwailah as he filmed demonstrations in Taiz, Yemen's third-largest city. Al Jazeera says the assault was so severe that it broke al-Suwailah's arm, causing the radius bone to penetrate the skin. Plainclothes men also assaulted cameraman Walid al-Miqtari in front of the channel's office in Sana'a. The network says the men took his camera and identification papers and threatened him with additional violence if he continued to report for the station. The attackers told al-Miqtari, quote, "You and the others at Al Jazeera deserve to be slaughtered." Al Jazeera employees have reported numerous death threats and threats of physical violence against themselves and their families. The latest threat was made by an anonymous caller to Ahmad al-Shalafi, one of the station's chief correspondents in Sana'a, and was directed at his children. The network's Yemen bureau chief said, quote, "We are in hiding now in various places throughout Yemen. We are not in our own homes. There are people looking for us and wishing to do us harm." The Yemeni Journalist Syndicate has documented in excess of 60 individual attacks on media since the beginning of social unrest in January. They include a killing, abductions, dozens of physical assaults, confiscation of equipment, and scores of death threats against journalists and their families.